Greetings everyone, welcome to another Crawdad and Rusty video. Finally, it's been quite a while since we've done a video, and even now it's not very good to go rock hounding, is it, Russ? He'd love to, but it's cold and drizzly, and hopefully we're gonna get some snow tonight, so we're gonna do rock hounding at home. How is that possible? How is it possible to do rock hounding at home? Well, because we have some good friends that are taking care of us. So these are just some that were given to us by Manfred and Janet. Janet purchased an entire pallet of rocks many years ago and has been using them over the years to do some things around the house, and then they just sat there, and Manfred said, we need to do something with those rocks. And so Manfred asked me, hey, would you like some rocks? And I said, of course. I always want rocks. And this is just the first load that he brought me. And there's some good stuff in here. We'll go looking through these, pull out a few, and cut them so we can see what's going on inside of them. Toothless is once again in his prime. Toothless got cleaned up. Look at that, he's beautiful again. That was a big job, took a while. We've got new oil, we're cleaned out inside, ready to go again and cut some of these. This one looks like I'll just cut it right across here, just to see what's inside. Cut off maybe, I don't cut off an inch or so I can slab it if I want to. Let's see what's in there. There it is, clamped up. It clamped up really good and solid. Lots to grip on. Let's start it and see. We'll go over here, pull that, drop the lid, and here we go. And we are done. Seems to have cut really well. And look at that. That's nothing like I would have thought it would be. That's beautiful. So it could be some sort of a jasper or a rhyolite. It's very hard, so it's definitely got some mineralization. And then you got this pocket of quartz in there. It's really pretty. Looks like there's it's a little bit open there to either some druzy or some crystals. Let's see. Let's crank this open here. Well, that is very interesting. I like it. How about this big quartzy looking thing? It does just look like plain white quartz. Russ, you want to see? You want to see? All right. Just finished off here. Let's see what this piece is. Oh, you know, it looks like it is quartz. You can see it's very clear here. I'll put it up towards the light here. And you can see it's very translucent. And, you know, it'll probably polish up good. Let's pick another one. And it is starting to get dark. But we can do another one. Let's see. This is the strangest looking one to me. Load that puppy up, cut it in half, and see what happens. That's not what I expected. Look at that, and then look at that. Huh. Like a chert. Or a flint, but it's got that carbonate like looking stuff in it. Interesting. It appears to be hard like a chalcedony, but I'll have to test it out and see. All right, it's too late to do another one. It's completely dark outside. Sometimes these take a while to cut, so we'll continue on and do some more tomorrow. It's actually several days later, and yes, we did get some snow and it turned really cold. A little too nasty to be out in the evening, but here we are again, and it's Saturday morning and it's very cold but starting to warm up. I did test this piece that we were looking at, the last one that we cut, and it is somewhere between 7 and 8, and that means it is some kind of a quartz, some kind of a chalcedony. This first one we did too is pretty in the sun. It is also the same, about the same hardness. 7 didn't quite scratch it, but 8 did, so I would say probably the lower part between 7 and 8. There again, some sort of quartz. And this one I did think, by the look of it, it was just quartz. But I'm gonna try and make that into a bookend. I think it'll make a pretty bookend. That'll be fun. All right, we'll get those into the cat litter down there. And let's go for, let's pick another one. This first one that we picked up, this little nodule. It could be the ugliest little thing in the world, but it looks cool, so we'll cut it and see what's in there. To the saw. Oh, it's so little in there compared to that giant saw blade. Let's do it. Okay, let's see. Here's the one that came off. Looks like there's some quartz in there. And lots of lines. I would say it looks like rhyolite. So it's a little thunder egg. Not a nodule, but a thunder egg. Yeah, that's what it is. Very interesting. Let's see what the other side looks like. No, stayed together. Good. Good. Okay. All right, get it over here in the sun. Oh. Well, that's a really cool stone. Let's pick a bigger one out. What's this on top? Kind of looks like petrified wood, but it's got different things in it. It is large enough to make a couple of bookends out of. So let's start by cutting off the bottom end right there. And that should put a nice flat bottom on it. I think I'm saving the most of it. Okay. That little piece I cut off, that is definitely petrified wood. Look at that. It's got a beautiful pocket of quartz in there, but all of the grain is just very evident here without getting too dripped on. Oh yeah. Well, that's beautiful. That's beautiful enough to make jewelry out of, but I do want to make a set of bookends out of that, and I think it'll work. But I'll come back and do that later. Now, I saw this other one here. I'd actually set it aside, and it's also a big chunk that could be something nice. And there she goes. Looks like we're just about done there. Just that little tab to get off. That piece fell off, and that looks really cool down there. There, now you can see it. Huh. That's got lots of swirlies in it. Haha. All right, come on, get done. Kind of artistic, huh? That should be good. Might have a hair to go. Let's see what it looks like in here. Oh, yeah, I got a hair yet to go. You can see the little diamonds in there. Let's look at this cut-off piece and get us an idea what's inside. Holy moly. That is gorgeous. I'm not thinking this is going to be any kind of bookends. This is jewelry quality stuff in there. Look at all those little bands. And the clarity and the depth in there. That is something else. Ruth can tell me about the colors. That is a surprise. Yeah, look at that. Wow, I like it. I'm thinking that might be some high quality stuff. Let's do one more. Let's see, what do we got? See, this one here looked like another piece of petrified wood. That one is a who knows what. This one kind of looked like a big thunder eggy thing. How about that? Would be fun. Let's see if I can cut it like that direction, like going straight down through there, getting the most of that rock. There's even going to be some hollows in there. That's okay. I can see some crystallization down in there. See something sparkling back there at me? It's not clean. It's very dirty in there, but there's something in there. This looks like I've got it pretty sturdy in there. And that will make a pretty nice slice right there. I think we're good. We're turning, so we can go. And here we are. Ah, we cut it pretty good down the middle there. It looks a little fragile, but there is some purdy in there. They are thunder eggs, and they will break easy. I'll have to stabilize these a little bit. But very clear here, maybe quartzy. Oh, look at this down here. Look at that. Little blue center. I like it. Oh, and there's one up here too. At the very top, right up there. I bet you the other side looks almost identical. Let's see if I can get it to loosen up here. There we go. It didn't break. Oh, did you see that? It broke. That's okay. This is still a nice piece. I don't know. We'll clean it up. It might go back together. One fell down in there, and then we got one there that, yeah, we'll see. Maybe we can get it back together. Well, look at that. Doesn't take long for a good old saw to get good old dirty. That's okay. So I thought before I finish this up, I'd circle back to one of these two pieces that I want to make into bookends and show you how I would go about making bookends. This is a really beautiful piece of petrified wood. It's got moss on it, but that'll clean off really good with a pressure washer. So the first thing I want to do is, as I'm looking at it, I want to expose yeah, it'll be stable. I want to expose some of the wood, take a little bit off of this side, and then this side, which has more of an overhang, take a little more off on this side, because those will be the polished faces. And then when I'm done doing that, I'll split it right in half, exactly 90 degrees perpendicular to the base, so that I have two pieces that will hold books straight up and down. So here we have it in the vise ready to go, and once you have that flat bottom on, then you have a good surface by which to kind of judge what is straight up and down and what isn't based off of that. So that gives me also a very good place to solidly lock in one side, so that one point on the other side, like so, becomes very strong in the vise. I'm going to cut off a pretty good sized chunk there, but it should come out just about finishing up down here, which will give me a nice front face for a pretty piece of wood. So, and oh my, look at this guy. So that's the side cut off, just the little side, the little chunk, and look at the colors in that. And the variation, light and dark and green, That is something else. Look at all the grain up at the top. That is really cool. Which means this side here is gonna look like that too. Let's get that out of there. Release, release, release. Oh yeah, that is gonna polish up beautiful. Okay, now get it back in this way. I'll run it and show you what we got. Oh, another beautiful side. That is, there's even some translucent stuff in there. Oh yeah. And this may be even a better side. Oh, wow. Look at that beauty. I'm afraid it got dark and late on us, so we're gonna finish this up tomorrow. And there it is, ready to get fully clamped up. I have it loose in there. This is actually the most critical cut of the entire bookend, because if the base is off as far as perpendicular to the saw blade, regardless of anything else, then the bookends will tip. The other thing is to try to get the cut in what would be the artistic center. You can't really find a center in something like this, because whichever way you go, you can't just measure, go from side to side. You have to do what looks right, because otherwise there's all kinds of potential for optical illusions. And it looks to me like I need to go over this way a little bit, so that's what this setting is over here. All of that I'm telling you is because I've messed them up. And they can be fixed, but it's a real drag. Oh, look at that, baby. Look at the green in that. That is gorgeous. Oh, and you got, man, all the different stuff going through there. Even some transparent stuff. Wow. Woody from our club was out hunting, and he kicked a big rock, a big hard rock. And this is that big hard rock. He brought it to the club meeting on Monday, and he said, "What is this?" And we're looking at it, and we can see that there is at least petrified wood grain there. So there was at least a limb cast there. And then we started looking, and if you look, you can find a little limb cast there. So a little limb cast over here. So is this a conglomerate of various things, or was it at one time one big piece of petrified wood? Anyway, he brought it and said, "Would you cut it?" And I said, cutting open rocks, I don't know if I want to do that. I said, of course I want to cut it open. So I'm going to cut this in half for Woody, and we'll get a sneak peek of it. If he watches the video before the next club meeting, he'll get an idea what's in it too. But we'll go ahead and cut it. And I told him, I said, which way do you want to cut it? And he said, well, I don't know. How would you cut it? And I said, I would cut it to have the biggest face possible, so that if this is a spectacular specimen, it could be one that would be polished and displayed for a long time to come. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this bubby, mount it in there, and cut it for the biggest face possible. Well, it's taken me a little bit to get this in there. That is pretty close to the largest piece I can cut. I have a little more blade you can see over the top, so I know I can cut through the top. And I have maybe a little more room to open up the vise. Took me a little bit of creativity to get it to lock in because I don't have a lot of clamping points, but hopefully this will stay there. That is a big, hard piece. Seems to be doing fine though. Well, I'll have to get it into some daylight to see it better, but Well, that's very interesting. I'll have to clean it up and get it in some daylight. It definitely has some agate-like depth. Definitely a big piece of something. But we'll have to get it in the daylight and look at it better. And again, it's dark, so that'll be another day. Here are the pieces, all kind of cleaned up. Tried to get some daylight out here. We don't have any direct sunlight, but we have some daylight, so let's check these out. Center here has some quartz, a little bit of banding, really neat. The other side's just like it, just a mirror image. Let's go over to this thunder egg over here, and that's the one that broke apart, and yet it's quite beautiful. Now this side that stayed together is pretty neat, and it's got like this window right there that goes way deep in there, and this side has some crystal formations in there. But then this one that broke apart, I'm kind of glad it did, because I can see some blue-gray down in there and some down in there, and you can see crystals sparkling. But it's this piece, this one and this one that broke off the most, that let me see even deeper. We have some of that angel wing kind of formation here with a little bit of druzy on top, and then you have this bluish gray. To my eyes, it's purple, kind of a botryoidal formation there. You gonna focus for me? See the little bots in there? But even then, on top of the bots, there's these little, it looks almost like ice crystal formation. Wow, that's really cool. Let's move on to this guy. Another strange looking thunder egg type thing. Let's see if I can get down in there. You can see the little tiny yellow crystals down in there. That's very interesting. You remember that white one I cut, and I thought, yeah, it's pretty neat. I decided I was going to cut it, not just in half, which was this part, which is kind of blah, but to make it into bookends. So I have a nice set of bookends there. And then here's the petrified wood one. So we can get this wet a little bit, because this is such a beautiful specimen. Now that it's kind of cleaned up, you've got this druzy pocket right there on the outside. And then you've got that rustic, rough formation. And then on the side, you start to see the little pockets right in the wood grain. And then the inside here, wow. This crazy piece here that I said I didn't think I wanted to cut it, I did cut it. And it is pretty inside too. It will polish really nice and be a really neat specimen. One of the things it did reveal is you can see some formation banding there. It kind of follows around different parts. See if I can get in there and see if it'll go. There, you can see the bands. Pretty neat. And then of the whole batch, this ugly rock here turned out to be the best. It had interesting pattern all the way through. And I can't explain how I see this, because I think when I'm filming it, it looks pretty opaque, but it is not. I can see down in here like it's water. Same thing with that blue-gray line, like it's water, and even down the middle of that lace. This is definitely some sort of a lace agate. It is translucent. This is the second piece I cut. See if I can get some light behind it. Oh, there's the sun. There's the sun. It is really neat. So I've got all those slabs that are the same, and then you have a little bit more craziness at the very center. That just got even more intense. And then I still have the other half. very pleased to have that piece. What you doing down there, Russ? One more piece, and this is Woody's rock. We already mentioned before I cut it that we had some like limb casts in there. I don't think this is petrified wood. That frothy looking stuff in the middle, it looks like moss floating on a lake. If you see this before Woody sees his rock, don't tell him, but it's a really cool rock. Well, that was really fun. I hope you enjoyed seeing what's inside these rocks. I did, and I have a lot more to go through, so we'll do it again. Until next time, it is really my hope that the Lord would bless you and yours.